looking too serious, and that is not typical of very Toastmasters. So please smile. How many of us, by show of hand, have been in an embarrassing situation that you felt the ground should open up and swallow you? How many of us? Thank you very much. So I'm not alone. I'll tell you about mine. But before that, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. We are still not smiling. Growing up as a little child, my late dad was a very, very strict man, called disciplinarian. You would expect us to always watch cartoons and play around, but trust me, that was not the case. Every evening, once it was 7 p.m., he would call us out. We'd sit with him, and whatever he was watching, would watch with him. But guess what? He was always watching the news. And that was never interesting. It was so painful. But moving forward, I began to love the news. It became part of me. And now, if I don't watch the news, I feel cheated. And so one day, we're watching the news. And I asked my dad, I said, there's this particular man. He's always on the news. Every time he's on the news. I want to be like this man. What do I need to do? And he tapped me and said, son, study engineering. And henceforth, I started to tell everybody, I want to be an engineer. And so one day he asked me, what kind of engineer do you want to be? And I said, I didn't know. I just wanted to be an engineer. And he asked me, this man on the TV, do you know him? I said, no, not until you tell me. And he said, his name is Gaius Obaseki. So you have an assignment. Go and look for this man's profile. So I began to ask questions. I asked my brothers, but nobody knew of this man. So I asked my mom, and she told me he works with NNPC. So I asked her, how do I become like this man? And she said, study petroleum engineering. So you can work at NNPC and be like Gaius Obaseki. So you always be on the news. So I said, no problem. I started to tell everyone, I want to be a petroleum engineer. I want to be a petroleum engineer. And so it was years down the line. My dream was about to be cut short. Reasons: I was in SS1. I had issues with mathematics. Very, very sad. I had issues with mathematics. And so one day in class, my then teacher, Mrs. Dupe, she was teaching and I was gisting with my seatmate, Greg. Can you guess what we're talking about? Thank you very much. We're talking about football. And she turned. She caught us. But here was the kicker. She didn't call out Greg because she knew Greg was good at mathematics. So she called me out. Danjuma, come up. And I came up. And she gave me basic indices to solve. And I goofed. I could not solve it. And she looked at me and said the most demoralizing thing I have ever heard in my life till now. And I quote, "You are a dull child. Oludu, get out. Please, somebody come and teach him." As I turned, a tear rolled down from my eyes. And I told myself, I must know mathematics. Moving forward, fervently, I started studying mathematics. Every night, every day, every night, I was studying mathematics. In SS2 third term, I was the best in mathematics. I represented my school. I represented, I cleared it at Cowbell. I went for Olympiad. I aced it. I was that good that if I went for a competition, you see other students begin to ask, please, are you Stephen Danjuma? Are you Stephen Danjuma? And so it was. I realized my strength. But my strength was in realizing that not putting effort was a weakness. And once you are fervent at your approach to becoming a better person at whatever you do, you would excel. Years down the line, I got a job, I started working, and I realized again that I could write, but I could not speak. Fortunately, one day at the office, I wrote a position paper for my boss, and he called me out. He said, come and deliver this paper. And I came out and I was jittery. And he looked at me. And he said, you need to be a good speaker because you are a good writer. Thanks to my beautiful wife who is not here today, she encouraged me fervently. She told me, come to Toastmasters. And each time she talked about Toastmasters, I always found an excuse not to come. But the first day I came here, I listened to Toastmaster Selim. And afterwards, I told myself, if I conquer this weakness, I'll be a good speaker. Toastmaster Salim encouraged me. With Madam President, they encouraged me. I came here, I registered, and today, I'm standing with you, delivering my icebreaker speech. Thank you very much. Over to you.